Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up and, before you've even reached the kitchen, you feel every one of your years, every step a little heavier, every movement a bit stiffer? Maybe you've found yourself wondering, where did all my strength go? Or, why don't I have the same spark I used to? Well, today, we're going to talk about something that might surprise you, a simple, ancient habit that's been hiding in plain sight, right there on your spice rack. It's a secret that many cultures have used for centuries, and it could hold the key to unlocking hidden strength after 60. I'm glad you're here, because I believe this small change could make a big difference in your everyday energy, resilience, and even your confidence. Let me introduce you to Harold. Now, Harold isn't just a patient of mine, he's become a good friend over the years. When Harold first came into my office, he had just turned 70 and was feeling exactly as I described earlier. He told me, "Dr. Easton, I'm not looking for a miracle cure or a magic pill. I just want to feel like myself again, strong enough to work in my garden, walk with my wife in the evenings, and get up in the morning without dreading the day." I remember that appointment vividly. It's the kind of conversation I've had many times in my more than 30 years as a men's health specialist. But Harold's honesty struck a chord with me, because, let's face it, we all reach a point where we're not chasing youth. We're simply searching for quality of life. If you're watching this, chances are you feel the same way. And you're in the right place, because what I'm about to share can help you rediscover some of that lost vitality, and it doesn't require expensive supplements or complicated routines. Now, before I go further, let me quickly introduce myself for those who are new. My name is Dr. Nolan Easton, and I've spent over 3 decades helping men navigate the changes and challenges that come with aging, physically, mentally, and emotionally. What drives me is seeing my patients not just add years to their life, but real, quality living to their years. And as you'll hear, sometimes the most powerful solutions are the simplest. So, why are we talking about a spice today? You see, in the world of health advice, things can get very complicated, very quickly. But in my years of experience, the best results often come from simple habits repeated daily. And that's where this unique spice comes in. It's not only flavorful but has surprising benefits that many people overlook. You might already have it in your kitchen and never realized what a difference it could make. Now, I know you might be feeling skeptical. Maybe you're thinking, a spice? Really, Dr. Easton? That's exactly what Harold said. But I always tell my patients. And I'll tell you right now, that being open to small changes can lead to the most remarkable improvements. So, if you stick with me, I'll explain how just 60 seconds a day with this spice could help you feel stronger, more energized, and more in control of your health than you have in years. Before we jump in, I want to pause for a moment. If you're finding this message helpful, I encourage you to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a new tip. And let me ask you, does this message resonate with you? If so, type yes or no in the comments below. I personally read your answers to better understand what challenges you're facing and to make sure every video is as helpful as possible for you. Your feedback truly shapes what I share. Now, let's come back to Harold for a moment. After our first conversation, I asked him to try something unusual, every morning after brushing his teeth. I wanted him to chew on a piece of a certain spice for just 60 seconds. Not swallow, not add it to his food, simply chew it. Let the flavor and oils release, and see how he felt. It seemed almost too simple, but Harold was willing to try. He promised to do it daily and keep a little journal of how he felt. A week later, Harold returned to my office with a grin I hadn't seen in a while. I don't know if it's in my head, Doc, but I actually felt a little more pep in my step. My morning walks were a bit easier, and even my hands felt less stiff in the garden. He admitted he hadn't expected much, but that little ritual had become a bright spot in his routine, something he looked forward to, not because it was magic, but because it felt like a small act of taking back control. Stories like Harold's aren't uncommon, and that's what excites me most. I've seen it over and over, when men commit to even a tiny positive change. It can start a ripple effect through every part of their lives. What begins as a simple habit becomes a foundation for strength, resilience, and hope. So, what is this mysterious spice, and why does it work? Here's the truth. Our bodies are full of untapped potential, no matter our age. The problem is, as we get older, certain natural processes slow down, Our circulation isn't what it used to be, our joints and muscles need more support, and sometimes we just don't feel as alive as we remember. But there are natural, proven ways to gently encourage the body to wake up again, to perform better, and to protect itself from decline. That's what chewing this spice helps trigger, a gentle, daily signal to your system that says, "Wake up, it's time to thrive." Now, I won't reveal the name just yet. I want you to understand the bigger picture first, because it's not about one miracle ingredient. It's about mindset, consistency, and giving your body what it needs in a form it can actually use. The beauty of this spice is that it's safe, affordable, and easy to incorporate into your life. You don't need a fancy blender or a new gym membership, just a willingness to try something new, right at home, and notice what happens. As we move forward, I'll share more about how this works, what you can expect, and why I recommend it to so many men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s. I'll also give you practical tips to make the most out of this habit and share more of Harold's journey as he began to notice positive changes, not only in his physical strength, but in his confidence and daily mood. Because when you feel better in your body, you start to look forward to each day in a whole new way. And remember, this isn't just about muscles or energy. It's about feeling connected to yourself, feeling capable, and finding little joys that make life brighter, even on the challenging days. I want you to know, you're not alone in this. Many men have walked this path and found new hope, just like Harold did. If you're ready to discover what a simple spice can do for your strength and well-being, you're in the right place. Let's take this step together. As Harold's journey began, he kept up his new morning habit with curiosity and a little skepticism. He'd told me, "Dr. Easton, I feel like I'm doing something odd, chewing a spice in the morning. But somehow, it's also made me look forward to the start of my day." That's something I hear so often from men his age. There's a sense of ritual in these small acts, something grounding and personal, especially when so much of life after 60 can feel uncertain or out of your hands. A few weeks into his new routine, Harold noticed changes that went beyond physical strength. He started sleeping better at night and, to his surprise, his mid-afternoon slump wasn't hitting as hard. He joked with me, "Doc, I'm not about to run a marathon, but my wife says I'm less grumpy in the evenings." That kind of shift is important, because real strength isn't just about muscle. It's about energy, mood, and a sense of agency over your day. And when you're in your 60s or beyond, that feeling can be the difference between just getting by and truly living. So, what is this spice that Harold and I are talking about? The answer might surprise you. It's clove, yes, the same humble spice you might use around the holidays or to flavor a stew. Clove has a long history in traditional medicine, especially in cultures from Asia to the Mediterranean. It's not just for flavor, it contains natural compounds that can help boost circulation, fight inflammation, and support your immune system. And, most importantly, when chewed, the essential oils in clove are released right into your mouth, where they get absorbed quickly, sending gentle signals to the body to wake up, those pathways that often slow with age. You see, as we age, the systems that keep us strong and resilient can get a little sluggish. Blood doesn't flow as freely, nerves don't spark as quickly, and sometimes our energy just feels sapped. But nature has provided certain foods and spices that can gently nudge those systems back to life. Clove is especially rich in a compound called eugenol, which has been shown in research to relax blood vessels, soothe sore joints, and even sharpen mental clarity. That's why so many traditional remedies feature clove as a starter for the day. For Harold, the biggest surprise wasn't just physical. He told me, "Dr. Easton, it's almost like chewing the clove in the morning reminds me I can still take action for my own health. It gives me a little purpose at the start of the day." And that, truly, is the heart of this advice. When you take a moment for yourself, even something as simple as chewing a spice, you're making a statement. I matter, and I'm willing to try. If you're watching this and feeling like it all sounds too simple, I understand. Many of my patients feel that way at first, but the results speak for themselves. When men in their 60s and 70s start making tiny, consistent changes, I see remarkable things happen. Joints start to ache less. Sleep gets a bit deeper. That afternoon fog lifts. Sometimes, even relationships improve, because when you feel better, you have more patience, more energy, and more willingness to connect with others. Let me share another quick story. There was a gentleman named Tom, 83 years old, who came to see me after hearing about Harold's results from a friend at his local walking group. Tom was skeptical but willing to try anything to get back his morning walks, which he'd been avoiding because of knee pain. He started chewing a clove each morning. And while it wasn't an overnight fix, he noticed his knees felt less swollen after a few weeks. More importantly, Tom said the simple act of starting his day with intention gave him hope, a sense that, even in his 80s, new routines could still make a difference. And I want that for you, too. Not just less pain or more energy, but hope. Hope that your story isn't finished, that each day can still hold surprises and new joys. That's the real power of building a small but meaningful habit. Now, as with any new routine, consistency is everything. If you want to experience the benefits Harold and Tom did, you have to make this a true daily ritual. Set your clove out the night before, keep it next to your toothbrush, or put a reminder on your fridge. You'll be amazed at how much easier it is to keep up with a habit when it becomes part of your morning routine. And remember, don't just chew and move on. Take those 60 seconds as a time for yourself. Notice the taste, the slight tingling, the way your body feels as you start your day. It's a moment of mindfulness, a chance to center yourself before the world rushes in. That, too, is a kind of strength. If you haven't already, take a second to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of our practical, senior-friendly tips. If you've ever tried a daily spice ritual, or if you're curious about starting, let me know in the comments below. Just type yes if this is something you'd try, or no if you're not quite convinced yet. I read every single response, and it truly helps me bring more of what matters to you. Harold's story continued in some unexpected ways. He began noticing that his afternoon walks were getting a little bit longer each week. At first, it was just to the end of the street. Then it was around the block. By the third month, he and his wife had mapped out a little route through the neighborhood. It feels like my legs wake up faster, he told me, and my hands aren't as stiff when I go to pull weeds in the yard. What struck me most was his confidence. He began planning more outings, making more social plans, and even joined a local gardening club. This is exactly the kind of change I want for you. You deserve to feel strong, hopeful, and engaged, no matter your age. And sometimes, that new strength starts with something as humble as a clove, chewed with intention for just 60 seconds each morning. I've seen it work for Harold, for Tom, and for many others in my 30 years of practice. And I truly believe it can work for you, too. If you've ever doubted that such a small ritual could make a real difference, I understand your hesitation. But when I look at Harold's transformation, and the dozens of men like him I've had the privilege to work with, I'm reminded that real change isn't about overhauling your whole life overnight. It's about building little victories, one day at a time. And sometimes, those victories begin with something as simple as a clove in the morning. I'll never forget the conversation I had with Harold about 2 months after he started his new habit. He came into my office with a bounce in his step, sat down, and said, "Dr. Easton, you won't believe this, but my grandson actually asked if I wanted to join him for a hike." Harold hadn't hiked in years. He admitted, "A year ago, I would have made an excuse. But now, I said yes. I figured, why not see what happens?" That, yes, changed things for Harold. It was about more than his physical strength or less stiffness in his joints. It was about a growing confidence that he could still participate in life, that he wasn't just sitting on the sidelines. This is what I want every one of my viewers to experience. The kind of daily strength that gives you permission to say yes again, even if you haven't for a long time. Let's talk a little about what's happening inside your body when you chew that clove. Remember, the essential oils and antioxidants in clove help wake up your circulation and relax blood vessels. Better blood flow doesn't just mean more energy. It means your brain is sharper, your hands and feet are warmer, and your muscles recover faster from everyday movement. It's a natural boost, not a jittery artificial one, just a gentle lift. Many men tell me they notice clearer thinking, steadier moods, and even improvements in digestion after a few weeks of this ritual. That's because clove also supports the digestive system and helps balance blood sugar. When your digestion is smoother, your whole body feels lighter and you're less weighed down by sluggishness or discomfort. If you struggle with occasional aches or soreness, clove's anti-inflammatory effects can make a subtle but real difference over time. And since it's a familiar spice, you don't have to worry about complicated directions or unwanted side effects. One thing I always emphasize is safety. If you have any specific allergies or take blood thinners, be sure to check with your doctor before adding clove to your daily routine. For most people, chewing one whole clove in the morning is safe and well tolerated. It's important not to overdo it. Like all things in life, moderation is key. Harold noticed something else as the months went by. He found himself being more present during the day. He said, "Dr. Easton, when I chew that clove, it's like a reset for my brain. I pay more attention to my morning walk. I notice the flowers in my yard. I even call my old friends more often, just to say hello." His wife told me she noticed he smiled more and had more patience, even when things didn't go their way. That's the quiet magic of feeling stronger and more in control. You become more open to joy, even in the smallest moments. Maybe you're listening right now and thinking, "That sounds nice, but my days are already full of routines. Will one more really matter?" My answer, after 3 decades as a men's health specialist, is a gentle but firm yes. This isn't just about adding another item to your to-do list. It's about making yourself a priority again, even for just 60 seconds a day. Those little moments of self-care add up, and the benefits can ripple out into every area of your life, your health, your mood, your relationships. If you've already started trying this, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if you've noticed even the smallest improvement, or if you have questions about making this ritual part of your day. Remember to like this video and subscribe if you haven't yet. It really helps us reach more people who can benefit from these simple, science-backed habits. Your stories and questions guide what I share, so don't be shy. There's another part of Harold's journey I want to share with you. One day, he came in beaming. He said, "Doc, I did something I haven't done in years. I danced with my wife in the living room. No big reason, just felt like moving." That story, to me, sums up the power of reclaiming strength after 60. It's not about running races or lifting heavy weights. It's about feeling light enough in your body and mind that you want to take part in life's little pleasures. Maybe for you, that's gardening, traveling, or playing with your grandchildren. Whatever it is, you deserve to experience it fully. Over the years, I've had the privilege of seeing so many men discover new confidence through small, consistent changes. For some, it starts with a morning walk. For others, it's a simple spice ritual. The important thing is to start, no matter your age or situation. If you're watching this, I want you to know it's never too late to unlock new energy and strength. If Harold can do it, and if Tom can do it at 83, so can you. Your best days may still be ahead. Harold's story is one I hope you carry with you. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the smallest daily habits, ones that seem almost too simple, can open the door to the strength and satisfaction you might have thought were lost to age. By the time Harold reached 6 months of his clove chewing routine, he told me, "Dr. Easton, I honestly feel like I've added years to my life, not just in time, but in what I can do." He was gardening for hours, planning outings with his family, and even helping neighbors with projects he'd never thought he'd be able to tackle again. But the biggest change, he said, was in his outlook. He'd stopped waking up dreading the day and instead looked forward to what might be possible. That's the magic I want every one of you to experience. If you take just one thing from our conversation today, let it be this: your body, your mind, and your spirit are capable of remarkable change, no matter your age. It doesn't have to be complicated or costly. Sometimes, a 60-second act of care is all it takes to start shifting the course of your days, and, in time, your life. As you go forward, remember that every habit starts as a small decision. Maybe today you're just thinking about chewing a clove in the morning, or maybe you're ready to begin tomorrow. Whatever you choose, do it with intention. Give yourself permission to believe that new strength is possible, even if you haven't felt it for years. And don't let setbacks stop you. There were days Harold forgot, days he didn't feel any different, and days he doubted the whole process. That's normal. Progress is rarely a straight line. What matters is that you return to the ritual, remind yourself of your why, and stay open to the quiet changes that begin to ripple through your life. What I love most about this habit, and why I've shared it with so many patients over 30 years, is that it's yours alone. No one can do it for you. It doesn't depend on anyone else's schedule, mood, or expectations. It's your daily anchor, your small act of self-respect. And, over time, it's those private moments of self-care that build into something truly strong and lasting. You might be surprised by how quickly others notice the change. Harold's wife, friends, and even his neighbors commented on his brighter mood and steadier energy. That's the beautiful thing about taking care of yourself. The benefits often spill over into every area of your life, helping you show up as the best version of yourself for the people you care about. Now, I want to pause and ask you, if this message resonates with you, would you please like this video, subscribe, and tap the bell icon? Your support helps me reach even more people who need encouragement and practical advice. And I truly want to hear from you. Type yes in the comments if you're going to try this, or no if you're not sure yet. I read every single comment, and your feedback helps me tailor these videos to serve you better. Before we close, let's revisit why this works, not just the science, but the spirit behind it. Clove, with its unique combination of eugenol and antioxidants, gives a gentle boost to your body's circulation and resilience. But it's not just about chemistry. It's about honoring yourself enough to start your day with care. When you invest in your well-being, even in tiny ways, you're telling yourself, and the world, that you're not done yet. There are still new adventures to be had, new joys to discover, and strength yet to be unlocked. So, my final message to you is this. Don't let age convince you that you're supposed to slow down, fade out, or settle for less. Every day, you have the choice to claim a bit more energy, a bit more hope, and a bit more joy. Even if all you do is chew a little clove each morning, do it with pride, knowing you're moving yourself forward. And if you ever doubt yourself, remember Harold. Remember how one small act helped him reclaim his confidence, his connections, and his purpose. You can have that too. I've seen it in so many of my patients, and I believe it's possible for you, no matter where you're starting from. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you feel inspired to take that first small step toward unlocking your hidden strength. If you know someone else who could use this encouragement, please share this video. You never know whose life you might change with a simple message of hope. Until next time, I'm Dr. Nolan Easton, wishing you health, happiness, and the courage to embrace your own new beginnings, one little habit at a time.